it's a blessing and not a blessing. You know, the natural resources of many African countries, they can truly help a country in development. But unfortunately, what happens is, this is why, as you were implying, that people break off so that they can claim those natural resources, and they claim it in the name of the people. They say, well, we're doing it because our people are not being respected. And at the same time, everybody knows that they want the gold or the diamonds, the copper or the oil in that area. And so they gives them a reason to continue to fight and control those resources. But at the same time, they can't do that on their own. They need someone outside the country to buy those materials that provides the money that these people really want. They don't want just the gold. They want to be able to get something for the gold and say, well, they can live a luxurious life. So in Central African Republic, how do you see like the distribution of the natural resources, but also the international community? Are there any particular countries that are buying more of the natural resources, and it would be to their benefit to keep the civil strife going?
This is a very interesting question, and at the same time, I will say that the church knows her limits, because things that are discussed at a certain level, high level of diplomacy or geostrategic ways, we are not involved there. It is obvious that no particular rebel group is capable of sustaining itself in provision of arms and also upkeep of the soldiers, all those they have. That means there should be someone hidden behind. And with all the intelligence that we have in the world today, I would say throw this question to the international community, because they know the flow of minerals. I know that 4 years ago, there was this kind of embargo put on the diamond from Central Africa. They are capable of this, identifying the different quality of diamond from different countries. Okay, so they know the flow of it. So this is my question to the international community. Help us solve this situation, because we all form one body. Our joy brings joy to the world. Our pain is a pain to humanity. You know, our pain, our suffering is a pain to the entire human family, because this is where we are. So, as I said it, those behind the scene, they don't come forward so that they'll be challenged at any institution. But they know that what they are doing is not good. But this is where we see, where do we put the human dignity? Where should the resources be used as blessing? But the greed, I would say, finally is the greed. And the greed is not only one group, but the way it goes, it's just with everybody. That is, people are taking advantage of the chaos, even from the bottom to the top. Those who are renting homes for the non-governmental institutions, they're working high prices. They don't want the work to stop, because they will lose their income. Those who are selling, they sell at high prices, because we have a lot of international personnel coming in. So they don't want to lose. You know, those who are renting their cars for anything, everybody is getting, and as we move on, those who are also getting their salaries from different institutions, they don't want to lose that part, you know. So it's a micmac, I will say it, you know. So what I will advise is that, or my proposal to the international community is that, let us stop it. It's not a question of depriving a group of people of the peace. That's the basic need. We all need peace. This is what we all desire. It was one of the messages I shared with one of the rebel leaders in my area, that, you know, whatever we all desire is a peace for ourselves and for our families, that they should live well. And that peace is an art that we all need to come together and build. It's never attained once and for all. Each day we need to say that we need peace, and everybody brings something by losing something, you know. stay together, we can build a peaceful environment for our children, for the next generation, because with age, you no longer have the same strength. So if you desire that you want your children to be safe, you want your family to be safe, you want your wealth, whatever you have to be safe, know that the other person also has the same desire in him or her. So when you inflict pain, it's a way of looking at your own vulnerability. So, as I said, that prophetic voice that we call the conscience of the people, and call the conscience of the people that, no, he's also a human being. So the same question I will throw to the international community. They know they should not hide their faces. They're in the different institutions, international institutions, where they talk about these salient points in the world. They should come forward and advise themselves behind the scene. Yes, it has lasted too long. We want to put an end to it. And that one can bring about peace for everybody in the world.
Yeah, very good. I appreciate everything you said. Certainly, as you were talking, I remember the situation in Liberia and Sierra Leone where the international community made it against the law to buy what they were terming blood diamonds, and they were diamonds they could specifically locate coming from Liberia or from Sierra Leone, and that advanced the peace process because of the warlords that they were termed and could no longer freely get the money they wanted, and so it wasn't profitable. It became more profitable to seek peace and move into the political forum, try and get elected as president or as a representative rather than keep draining the resources. So that's a very good point. Now, in Central African Republic, my understanding is that country's about 80 or 90% Christian, and about 30% of the population is Catholic. So, you must feel a great burden, because anytime these kind of civil conflicts arise, it traumatizes the population. The young people, they're confused and lost, and they join these factions because they see instant gratification. They get wealth for the day or the 2 days, and they feel satisfied, and yet their path for them, certainly the case was in Liberia, is often led to being addicted to drugs or to a life of violence, or so traumatized that it becomes difficult to get resettled or to get their life back into a routine. So I don't know if it's early how you're thinking of planning on the diocesan level and the national level to make sure that the children of the country are received back in the community without judgment or looked upon as bad, but rather received, and if they need to be forgiven, they're forgiven, but also they're helped in their journey to stabilize themselves once again.
This is one of the activities that we do on the ground in every diocese. In the Diocese of Beberati, we did that. We have a platform, we call it inter-religious platform, where we have Protestants, Catholics, and the Muslims, because we all form a group. People are coming from all these religions, of this creed, who take part either because of circumstances or because they themselves join because of instant gratification, as you mentioned it. So together as religious leaders, we created a platform of exchange of ideas, and how do we reach out to the young people. In our activities, as we do in the national level too, because there's a national committee of the platform of inter-religious communities and the dioceses, what we do is, we have identified that all these young men and women who have joined these groups, what they desire is acceptance. Some have come to the realization that they were misled by those who were seeking political gain or economic gain, by using them to cause chaos, to join them so they can drain the resources. And once they have, as I've mentioned, also the embargo put on these minerals, some, they didn't have the money again, those who were supplying them, of encouraging them, they didn't have the resources again. So now they are back to their communities where they committed the same heinous crimes. So the acceptance is that, how will I be accepted back to the community? So we use the women. We tell the women to get involved because we all need to hear the voice of a mother. Say that you still belong. You are my child. You are my son. The voice of a mother is something that suits the heart. You see that the women getting involved to reach out even to one person at a time, because when they are in group, they are difficult to talk to. But one-to-one dialogue, we call it one-to-one reconciliation. One-to-one reconciliation, he doesn't have the group around him, so he comes to the realization of his own self, and the mother speaking to him like, my son, look at what you are doing. You still belong to this community. It changes. Sometimes see their eyes are well with tears. So they want acceptance, that they can still be accepted in the community, and the integration. Integration is that, yes, you are coming back as a combatant, but with whom are you going to fight again? So some could no longer go back to the schools or anything. So skill training is what we have opted for. That is a community violence reduction program. You know? Yeah, you call it community violence reduction program. So some who learn skills, electricals, or some would like to go to computer, something to have a diversified means or any way of income generation. Some go to carpentry or mechanic, or they want to learn other trade so that they can earn their life decently. So you see, in the dioceses, the 9 dioceses we have, every bishop, according to our specificities in the country, every diocese has different issues. The variety we have very because the people are not violent people. We have never had a history of rebellions being mounted or created there. So it will only be, we call it collateral effect that people joined. And we have the natural resource or the forest there. So already a climatic condition, and also historical or totally anthropological, that means nothing to build on, made that the young people that they seek rather something to do. So that is why we have the region has been declared a green zone earlier, because this attention was brought. We brought it to the young people that, hey, you are destroying your own area. You don't have that history. So on what are you going to build? You know, sometimes when you call to that and you ask the person, I remember one imam speaking to one young man, said, my friend, look at the dignity of your family, where you are coming from. It changed everything in him. And of course, the women talking to him, my friend, and my son, do that. So we all bring our ideas together and our efforts together to pacify different areas, because where you know, that's how you can treat the people better. And now finally, our idea is we want more and more grassroots encounter. Grassroots building and peace building, because there we know one another. In the neighborhood we know one another. As here, you know what, it's different than having more higher institutional dialogue, whereby those who are elected, they always seek their you know, what they'll gain, you know, or to make themselves known. But in the day-to-day life, they know how they can solve issues in the communities. So from there we can build the peace. So peace emerging rather from the bottom to the top. So that's the new approach that we are giving to it.